If you're like me yesterday, you woke up, got on Instagram, and saw the firefight announcements from the bald man. He's finally been in the kitchen. The Paramount executives, been on him. Step in the kitchen, make some actual matchups. And today, I will be doing my degenerate opinion on all of these matchups, including Merab Dvalishvili defending his title for the fourth time this year. That's right, this man is a machine against Piotr Yan for the second time. Alejandro Pantoja takes on a savage number one contender in Joshua Van. Then Jan Blachowicz gets his fight rebooked against Bogdan Guskov, which we were supposed to see already. And that one, that one's a sneaky good fight. And lastly, you scroll through the slideshow, and I think I'm speaking for most people when you go fire, 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 then you see Triple C on your Instagram feed, and you're like, why the fuck is this guy still fighting? But not only in why the fuck is this guy still fighting, why the fuck is this guy fighting Peyton Talbott? Peyton Talbott got borderline raped by Ronnie Barcelos, but I guess we'll talk about that later. Starting with Merab defending his title against Piotr Yan. I did say it was for the second time, not the second time for the title. The first time they fought, Merab kind of just tossed him around like a little child. Now, as a Yan fan, I feel two ways around this fight because I have grown close to the Gremlin and have became a Merab fan ever since he beat Sean O'Malley. I'm not gonna lie. His personality won me over, and I've learned to appreciate the fighting style. I'm no MMA Joey or anything. I'm not a faggot, but you know that's just how it is. Now, Piotr Jan has improved since his last fight with Merab, in my opinion. He's on a 3-fight win streak. His last two being Davison Figueiredo and Marcus McGee. In Marcus McGee being a very crafty performance, the narrative was that Marcus is going to come and beat Piotr Jan. He's going to steal Piotr's title shot. But no, Jan is a fighter. Jan is one of the fighters that we like. He defended his ranking and put that little boy in his place. Now, this is probably the only fight where I'm truly going to be rooting against Merab because I love Jan. Jan's great. He's such an amazing fighter. He's intelligent. Now, realistically, I don't know. I don't know how this fight's going to go. This could either be Merab just repeats his performance and just because he already has Jan figured out and just 50-45s him again, or he could put some hands on him like he tried to do with Corey Sandhagen and actually achieve that. If he knocks out Piotr Jan, I might blow my brains out. But, you know, I guess I'll just have to enjoy it either way. Or Jan, I know it's a cliche, but he does all the downloading the data shit and just works his way into the fight, starts to defend the takedown, and keep Merab on the back foot to where he can't just explode forward and shoot, and just keep exploding forward and shooting. I know that's a much easier said than done thing, but a second time fighting Merab as such as a high IQ fighter that Jan is, that I feel like this is the best opportunity anyone has to put down the style of Merab. Now, whether that be a decision or Jan fluke a KO, either or would be crazy, and I would bask in it and love it. Now, that's that being said, I do think this is going to be a firefight either way. Even if Jan does get 50-45, I do believe that those rounds will be competitive, and I like Merab fights. All right, man, fucking arrest me, bro. The next fight, we actually got this leaked on the UFC Rio pay-per-view by homeboy. I forgot his name. I'm a retard. But Alexandre Pantoja defends his title against Joshua Van. Now, Pantoja's fighting a guy we haven't seen him fight twice already. Isn't this some crazy shit, right? No, I'm joking. I really like Joshua Van, and his rise has been it's been meteoric and just an exciting thing to watch. Just from him getting knocked out by Charles Johnson and, just completely transforming and being able to climb up to the top as he has just been a great thing to watch. His fight with, Bruno Silva to turning around and claiming the number one spot by in an absolute war with Brandon Royval, who was really close with, and he just drops him in the third. Fire shit, just fire shit. And Pantoja, he's fought Brandon a couple times, Figgy a couple times, Royval a couple times. That's just how it is. Then he gets fucking he gets Kaya Sakura, then the Kai Kara Francis. I confused the Kais. But he just put down the Kais like some fucking rabid dogs. Now, we're in to see a more interesting Pantoja fight than just someone that we we know is just going to get tapped out by Pantoja. Now, the narrative is that Pantoja is just going to tap out Van and show his lack of experience. And honestly, I had you in the first half. I'm gonna have to agree with that. I don't think Van's gonna pull out anything that we aren't gonna expect. And this fight, while I do think this fight's gonna be short, I think the stand up will be mildly exciting. Van might put some mustard on him, then he's not gonna be able to defend the takedown of Pantoja, and Pantoja's just gonna drag him down and have his way with him on the ground, which it's probably what's gonna happen. Or Van locks the fuck in and defends the takedown and turns this into a 5-round war where he starts to beat up on Pantoja. Pantoja starts to slow down. Van's ripping body and headshots across the cage. But that's an ideal scenario. But you never know. We are living in the best UFC timeline right now, with Alex Pereira and Charles de Bronx coming off their wins. But if Van wins, this does extend the greatest UFC timeline ever. But I like Pantoja too, so I'm not gonna be pissed if he wins, because that's probably what's gonna happen. And Jan Blachowicz, Polish power, we all know him, we all love him. Unk's still got it, and in this fight, I think Unk's still gonna have it. Just Bogdan Guskov just isn't there. He isn't all there. He's not gonna be able to just crack Jan like he has all of his other opponents and just make it just look easy. He's not gonna be able to do that. The greatest power in the sport hasn't been able to do that. Alex Pereira and Israel Adesanya are great examples. Both weren't able to sleep Jan Blachowicz. He has the granite chin. He has the granite chin of the 205 division. There's like one in every division, and 205 is Polish power. Now, I really don't have too much to say about this fight. That is just going to be some white boys slugging it out for 3 rounds. And I particularly don't think this fight's going to be too entertaining. And I don't think that's too crazy to say. I think Blachowicz is just going to tap on the outside, and Bogdan's going to swing like a retard and tire himself out. And, just Blachowicz is just going to pick him apart. And I don't see this fight going any other way but Blachowicz just picking him apart, because that's what Blachowicz does. Man, what the fuck is this? Did you not hear me? Let me repeat that. What the fuck is this? What the fuck is this? Henry Cejudo versus Peyton Talbott. Who asked for this? Who asked for this? Peyton Talbott's grappling sessions with Frank Ocean does not set up for this. It might be enough against Felipe Lima, but against Olympic wrestler and Henry Cejudo, those grappling sessions aren't going to be enough, twin. And it wasn't even a year ago that you got exposed for having holes in your game against Ronnie Barcelos. We could have got a lot better matchups for Peyton Talbott, I think, to build the prospect. But they're trying. The UFC just has too much faith in this kid, man. Like, they do. I genuinely think this is where the Peyton Talbot hype train's gonna die, and the TikTok edits are gonna stop. Now, am I a fan of that? Kinda, cause it's kinda funny. Cause Henry Cejudo has kind of been on a downfall lately, but I still think he's gonna dog it out and just be crafty enough to put Talbot in positions of discomfort where he's not gonna be able to get out. And honestly, if Talbot isn't locked in, we might be on a horizon of a triple C finish. And if we see a triple C finish, TikTok will explode because Peyton Talbot, their boy, just got fucking curb stomped again. But you never know. This is MMA. Peyton Talbot could fluke a right hand in the first 15 seconds and sleep him. That's just how it is. Well, if you like this shit, like it, subscribe. This is kind of a free ball video. First one. I'll try to be better next time. My bad, twin. Later.